Yeah, as I said, this is Fresh Friday Bible study. So we're going to get started with prayer now. Let's bow our heads. Lord, we thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for your unconditional love, your grace, your mercy, your peace, Lord, your peace, your joy, your meekness, Lord. We just thank you for you being you, Lord, for you dying on the cross for us, for our sins, Lord. And we want to pray for everyone in the whole wide world, for their spirit, soul, mind, and body. And Lord, if they don't know you, send somebody across their path to tell them about you, Lord. And if they do know you, Lord, give them a hunger and thirst to want to know you more and more so that we witnesses on the other people, Lord. And as this word come forth, Lord, that you speak through me, and that our hearts and ears be open to receive, that we can use it in our daily walk, Lord. And not only that we can curse on with the word as well, Lord. In the name of Jesus, amen. All right, y'all. Like I said, this is Fresh Friday Bible Study, and this is look over. This is your gift job entrepreneur, 6-figure income, part 13. Part 13. Part 13. So we're gonna get started, and we know we got to read our foundation scriptures, and our foundation scriptures. The first one is Deuteronomy chapter 15, verse 10. Go back one. Y'all know I like my heart back, right? So we're going to get started. Let's read. Thou shalt surely give him, and thy heart shall not be grieved when thou givest unto him, because that for this thing the Lord thy God shall bless thee in all thy works, and all that thou puttest thy hands unto. Bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you. Yes. Our next foundation scripture is Psalms chapter 90, verse 17. So we'll go over back on the page. All right. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands established thou it. So y'all know we like I said, this is about tapping into your gift God has given you. Not only when you tap into it and you love to do it, it will produce, income for you as well. Income for you as well. And not only that, you'll be able to encourage someone else. Because you have a lot of people, say, well, I don't know if I have a gift or talent. Everybody got a gift, talent, everybody does. Just got to tap into it. So, y'all know the book that we've been reading is John C. Maxwell, How Successful People Think. And you know what, y'all? This is actually the last chapter in this book. We went through this book. So, what we're going to start on now, what we're going to talk about is rely on bottom line thinking. So, this is the quote. I'm going to read his quote. He said, how do you figure out bottom line for your organization, business, department, team, or group? In many businesses, the bottom line is literally the bottom line. Profit determines whether you are succeeding, but dollars should not always be the primary measure of success. I'm going to say that again. Dollars should not always be the primary measure of success. Would you measure the ultimate success of your family by how much money you had at the end of the month or year? And if you run a nonprofit or volunteer organization, how would you know whether you were performing at your highest potential? So I thought that was really good. So what he's saying is that don't make it about the bottom line to make a whole bunch of money, That shouldn't be your bottom line, because you might not never make that your bottom line. It has to be about, find out really what is that bottom line and everything. And you got to you're thinking about that bottom line. So he talked about this nonprofit bottom line. He talked about Frances Helsel-Bean. I hope I said her name right. Anyway, her and her husband were partners in their studios, which was a small family business, and they filmed studios. She wrote the scripts and he made the films. And this was in the early 1950s, and then she was requested to be a troop leader for the Girl Scouts. And she did it on a temporary, she said she would do it on a temporary basis, but ended up doing it for 9 years. So what happened was she ended up becoming the executive director of the Tyler's Rock Girl Scout Council, then eventually became the CEO of the Girl Scouts. And it's because they are a nonprofit. So what she said that she wanted to how to bring the organization back to the bottom line. How can she bring the Girl Scouts back to the bottom line? Said teenage girls was losing interest. It was hard for them to find troop leaders because at that time, a lot of the women were going into the workforce, so they didn't have a lot of troop leaders. So she said she kept asking herself simple questions: what is our business? Who is our customer? And what does a customer consider value? So I'm gonna say that again. This is what she said. What is our business? Who is our customer? And what does a customer consider value? So she also said, if you're the Girl Scout, if you're the Girl Scouts, IBN or AT&T, you have to manage for a mission. Meaning that you have to really understand again, what is our business? Who is our customer? And what does a customer consider value? So, I thought about that. You could put that with not only a business that you're doing, you can put that even when working, and everything like that. So you can do that as well. Something is going on with my computer. That was a lie, right? So we're gonna move over a little bit. This is really weird. But you know how that is. We're gonna move to the wrong side. Okay, I got it off. I don't know what that came up. Talking about some slam camera, but right? God is good. So anyway, like I said, I'm gonna say that again. She said, "What is our business? Who is our customer? And what does a customer consider value?" Everything. Also, she said, "We are really here for one reason: to help a girl reach her highest potential, more than any one thing that made the difference. Because when you're clear about your mission, corporate goals, and operating objectives flow from it. So even if you have a different business besides Girl Scouts, and that's what he was focused on with this chapter, they didn't look at the money or anything. They looked at their bottom line was helping girls achieve their highest potential. And probably sometimes you got to find out what your bottom line, what your company is, and you might have got away from it, and you might have to come back to it, come back to it, come back to it. So it's interesting because she said once she figured out her bottom line, she had to set up a strategy to how to get to her bottom line and to make it succeed. So what they did was the organization made its activities more relevant to the current culture. So back when they were doing things, when they first started Girl Scouts, they hadn't came full force, so they were still thinking back when they first, like I said, when they first started. But the culture has changed, and you even know that as generations are born, your culture is going to change, and as companies, you got to change with that culture. So she said, like I said, the organization made its activity more relevant to the current culture, giving great opportunities for use of computers, for example, rather than hosting a party. Because at that time, computers were coming relevant and everything. She also sought out minority participation, created bilingual materials, and reached out to low-income households. If helping girls reach their highest potential was a group's bottom line, then why not be more aggressive helping girls who traditionally had fewer opportunities? And what I liked about that was that at that time, they might have had some minority participation, but not from the majority of the minority, no matter what the race was. So if you're going to reach out to any girl, no matter the income level or anything, so if you're going to reach out, you need to reach out to everybody and make it affordable, and then for them to be able to come and be Girl Scouts, for the young girl to reach her highest potential. And that strategy that she used, it tripled her minority participation in the Girl Scouts. And I thought that was very, you can, like I said, you can take that and use that in any other business as well. You want to, and I know I talked to someone before, and it was asking me, but looking at their business plan, and they asked me a question. I said, are you trying to reach a certain demographic, or are you trying to be global? You know, so you have to look at that, and that's why I look at that right there. Are you trying to reach as many people as possible, or are you staying within one demographic? And you have to be, you know, honest, if that's your type of business, okay, that's your type of business. But if you're not, and you just want to reach everybody, you need to think, you know, think on that level. Think on that level. You know. So she said, I thought this was interesting. Said that she had got the Miss Helsby had got the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 1998 from President Clinton, and this is the comment that he made about her. He said she has shared her remarkable recipe for inclusion and excellence with countless organizations whose bottom line is measured not in dollars but in changed life. So it was about, like I said, when you had a company, you know, people like, okay, I make that money, but are you changing life? No matter what kind of company you got to be thinking about how am I changing somebody's life? I don't care if it's putting a smile on their face because they found the perfect product that you need and everything. So, you know, you did change their life because they probably been searching, and then they come across your product like, oh, that's the one. I know I get like that too. You know, if I'm searching for a certain thing and I can't find it, when I find it, I'm elated. So yes, that changed my life because I found what I was looking for. So, you know, as a business, you should be thinking like that. Definitely thinking like that. The next area he said, why you should enjoy the return of bottom line thinking. So he said, if you're accustomed to thinking of the bottom line only as it relates to financial matters, then you may be missing some things crucial to you and your organization. Instead, think of the bottom line as the end, the takeaway, the desired result. Every activity has its own unique bottom line. If you have a job, your work has a bottom line. If you serve in your church, your activity has a bottom line. So does your effort as a parent or a spouse if you are one. So the first thing he talked about, and I thought that was it was really interesting. He said, bottom line thinking provides greater clarity. Bottom line thinking makes it possible for you to measure outcomes more quickly and easily. It gives you a benchmark by which to measure activity. It can be used as a focused way of ensuring that all your little activities are purposeful and line up to achieve a larger goal. So I was like, okay, you know, it's like a quick idea. What is my bottom line thinking? And I had to think about that with my companies and stuff, and definitely with my sports company. And my thing was always creating something different that people would like. You know, even though it's sports, it's still it's real top, but it's still different that people would like. So if they like it, I wasn't thinking about, oh, let me, you know, I can make this and make this money and just like that. If it's creative and different and they like it, the profits are gonna come. Profits are gonna come. They're gonna come. They definitely gonna come. Number two, bottom line thinking helps you assess every situation. So with me, I always say, all my products different. Do people like them? So you looking at your situation, your bottom line thinking. Like I said, that was mine. So I'm looking at, okay, I'm assessing my situation. Even if, you know, I've had some people come say, hey, somebody's making something almost like yours. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. If it's is it exactly like mine, and it's like, no, okay, so maybe mine is different. And then do people like them? Because I had when I was at Fort Hood past year, and it was during the holidays time. And one of the guys that had bought something from a store there, and I actually had my kiosk set up, and he came down, saw my kiosk, and he started looking at my scars, and he was like, man, I should have came to you first. I didn't know you was here because I like the one I bought, but I like yours better because yours is different. And you know, everybody's not gonna have this one. So you know, see, like I said, that being creative, and if that person liked them and stuff like that. I had somebody call me yesterday, wanted to see if I can make some scars for a certain school they're looking for and stuff like that. So they've bought stuff from me before. So when people, if they like your product, you know, like I said, you are assessing, you know, every situation. Number three, bottom line thinking helps you make the best decision. You know, it was easy for me to make products in bulk. And I'm gonna tell you why. I had someone that came to me and said, you shouldn't make so many products because you will have a huge inventory. And what if they don't? What if your products don't sell? And I told them my products are creative and different, and people like them. That's why they sell. That's why I have to keep inventory. I have to keep inventory because I want my customers to know I will have them in stock. So what he was trying to say was that him and the spouse was doing something. They had a kiosk on. And I know he was always come by and look at myself, always come by and look at myself, talking about, yeah, I don't think you shouldn't have a lot. Because he asked me how much inventory I got. I said, I got a lot. I said, this right here don't even cover what I have back at my house and stuff like that. And he's, I don't think you should have a lot. You shouldn't make a lot of products. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do, because I'm able to make the best decision. Because when I started making, just like I said, just the pillows, the mini pillows at first, mini football pillows, I mean, stuff was just selling and selling. I was, back orders were coming in and stuff, and I had to get them. You know what? You need to start making more of your stuff. And even when I start introducing new, different products, new different items and stuff like that, I would start making more and more, because like I said, it would sell. So you're able to make the best decision, because what's your bottom line thinking? Like, my bottom line is to make something different and creative, and people like them. If they like them, then I was able to make that decision. No, I need to have a bigger inventory. Number 4 is bottom line thinking generates high morale. And I said it too, because my morale is high when I'm sewing and making my different products and my ideas and being creative. And I'm like, okay, I can make this, I can make that, like that. And it's a different product and everything. And then even when I'm selling them, because I've had somebody come up to me. I had somebody come up to me, and I was at Luke Air Force Base 3 years ago. And was that 3? Yeah. The guy came up to me. First it was a lady. We'll say the lady first. She came up to me. She was selling jewelry. And I think it was like my 3rd day there. And she had been there the week before, so she was doing 2 weeks. And she told me, she said, can you buy my stuff and then sell it? Because it looks like you sell everything. I was like, excuse me, why would I buy your product to sell it? Well, I mean, she said, because, look at the way you sell, you're smiling, you're happy, people come and talk to you and they buy your stuff and everything. But I said, no, I can't buy your product and then turn around and sell it. So what she was saying is that she knew I could sell her product, but she wanted me to buy it from her so she can make sales and then turn around and sell it again. So I was like, no. And then I think it was months, not even, maybe months later, I was up there again in Luke Air Force Base in Arizona. And this guy, he was actually selling incense and stuff, but he would have little different extra items. People buy, put purses on their stuff, backpacks, they might bring eyeglasses, just different stuff. So he had some knockoff backpacks, what was it, the Raiders, and a couple of more other teams. Well, anyway, his stuff wasn't selling. So he asked me, can I put my bags on your kiosk? Because your stuff is selling, my stuff is sports. And I'm like, no, your stuff is not gone. This is original material. You can look at the stuff. I'm like, no. And then not that, that wasn't selling. He was selling some other stuff, but it just wasn't selling. And I had told him, I said, because your products are not mashing and everything. You got selling incense, but then you got these sports bags over here and everything. But I've had a lot of people talking about, you be hype when you be selling your stuff, or you talk. Yes, my morale is high because I know my bottom line. Number 5 is bottom line thinking ensures your future. I always say, if you keep your bottom line in your vision of your company every day, that's what he said, every day, what my bottom line is every day, then your future will always be successful. So every day that I come in, it's okay, this is my bottom line, this is my vision. The next day is the future is going to be successful. And every day that you think like that, your bottom line, and you'll always be successful, always. The next thing he talked about, how to enjoy the return of bottom line thinking. It isn't hard to see the value of bottom line. Most people would agree that bottom line thinking has a high return. But learning how to be a bottom line thinker can be challenging. So the first thing he said, identify the real bottom line. I always say get down to the nitty gritty. After you pull all the layers away, what is your bottom line? Because a lot of times people start off, well, it's money, and I want to have this store or that store, or this company, or this, that, and that's fine. That's how it goes. But when you start pulling those layers back, what is your true bottom line? If you're you have your restaurant owner, your chef. What is your bottom line is it probably is to make the best this dish possible, and people gonna love your food. You know, so that's what he said. What is the real bottom line? Like I said, with a chef, got a restaurant, people gonna love my food. They gonna come back because my food is good. And you can say, well, I got all these restaurants here, there, and there. But if your food ain't good, you can have 10 restaurants. People ain't gonna start coming back. They might go the first time, but they ain't gonna come back. So your bottom line is great food that people love. And when you eat good food, you're happy, you're talking, you're conversating, everything. And that might be that restaurant the real bottom line. So like I said, you start pulling all the layers back, looking down to the nitty-gritty. Number 2, make the bottom line the point. So be specific and don't deceive your employees and customers, because he was saying in that how sometimes you start having a conversation with somebody and what they're talking about is really not what they're trying to say. They're trying to you're trying to deceive you, and they really want to say something else. And I know some of us, we probably have been through that. You have a conversation with somebody, you look at like, what it doesn't jive with what you're saying. What are you really trying to say? So that's what he said, be specific and don't deceive your employees and customers. Number 3, create a strategic plan to achieve the bottom line. So I'm going to read what he said. I thought it was really, really good. Bottom line thinking achieves results. Therefore, it naturally follows that any plans that flow out of such thinking might tie directly to the bottom line, and that can be only 1, 2, or 3. Once the bottom line has been determined, a strategy must be created to achieve it. In organization, that often means identifying the core elements or functions that must operate properly to achieve the bottom line. This is the leader's responsibility. The important thing is that when the bottom line of each activity is achieved, then the bottom line is achieved. If the sum of the smaller goods doesn't add up to the real bottom line, then either your strategy is flawed or you not identified your real bottom line. So what he's saying is that if you create a strategic plan, you say you create a bottom line, and you create a plan. And if it doesn't achieve its goal, then you got to go back and say, okay, was that my real bottom line? Was that my real bottom line? All right, number 4, align team members with the bottom line. Team members are important. They must know the company goals and their individual roles, which is their individual bottom lines. And I'm going to say this, okay, anybody know, you don't know, I'm a nurse. So when you working at a nurse home, everybody has women on team. So you got nurses, you got your nursing assistants. Not only that, you got housekeeping, you got the dining room, the cooks and everything. And then you got maintenance and stuff, and not in management as well. Everybody has to know not only what the company goes, and I would say any nursing home, any company goes is to provide quality care for the residents that are in there. And that quality care it don't stop at healthcare, the nurses and nurse assistants. Everybody plays a role in providing quality care, whether it's maintenance, whether it's housekeeping, keeping the floors clean, the rooms clean, taking the trash out, whereas the dining room, making sure they have adequate, good, healthy food to eat, management, making sure they're managing the facility and everything, make sure you have enough employees there. So, again, the residents are being taken care of. So you have to definitely look at that, definitely, when you're aligning your team members. Don't never, some people put team members on their team, whether you work for a company or it's your company, and it doesn't succeed. Sometimes you have the wrong team members on there. Number 5, stick with one system and monitor results continually. So mine, when I started the Key Boutique, it was just, like I said, mini football buildings, a sports company. And as it started growing, even though it was still one system to create um, different products, something different, but that people would like. And as it started evolving, and as the different items started coming and everything, like I said, it still was with one system, different items with one system. A lot of items I have pulled out and made them their own company, but the system is still the same. My bottom line is creating uh, different products that people like on the sports side. So it hasn't changed, even though they don't pull out in their own company. So what you want to stay is you want to stay within your same system that you created. If it's working for you, working for you. Don't try to mix different systems that works for one company. I can take the system that I use for my healthcare company or even my publishing company and bring it over to my sports company because it's different systems. So what he's saying is don't mix your systems. Stay with it and watch it and continue, monitor your results and everything. So definitely do that. It's another quote he said that when it comes right down to it, regardless of your bottom line, you can improve it with good thinking. And bottom line thinking has a great return because it helps to turn your ideas into results. Like no other kind of mental processing, it can help you reach the full potential of your thinking and achieve whatever you desire. So, what is my bottom line for my company? Or you could even say, what is the bottom line? I would say, even as a family, when you're raising kids, you want to give them, the bottom line can be, definitely raise them with love. You definitely want to raise them with the love of God. You want to raise them and, not only discipline and everything, and you taking care of them, but they be productive citizens. So this could, go from every aspect of your life, not only from family, business, where you're working at and everything. So you have to really think on that level. So like I said, this is such a good book, How Successful People Think, from John C. Maxwell. And this was like I said, that was the last chapter of that book right there and everything. So when you are looking at your bottom line, if you're ready to start a business, definitely look at that bottom line. Why do I want to start this business? And if your passion is just to make money, then that is not the business you need to be starting. Because it needs to be a different passion. And sometimes we can get away from that passion, and especially if you start getting big and everything, you have to be brought back to your bottom line. Back to your bottom line. Because sometimes companies can get so big and they forget about what that was a bottom line for about, and they get into a different system, and then you can see those companies start failing and everything, and then they have to go back, okay, what are we doing? What are we doing? We were so successful. But then they realize, okay, we got away from what the bottom line was for that company and stuff like that. So with that being said, we are going to talk about the six-figure income because today is Friday. So I always have to put it up there. So y'all, you're looking at date. We've been talking about this since July 23rd. We're gonna keep going. And how you get to your six-figure income. 100 companies, $100 for sales. If you have 100 companies, $10,000 a month times 12 is $120,000 six-figure income. Yes, you must pay taxes off that, and yes, you should be paying your tithes as well and everything. So, working on your 100 companies. So you have Monday 17 companies, Tuesday 16, Wednesday 17, Thursday 16, Friday and Saturday 17 each, and you only doing 30 minutes each. That's if you have the time to do that. If you only have time to work on your companies on Saturday, you might say, okay, well, I'm going to do 5 or 10 companies. Or if you can say, I can work on one company when I get home Monday through Friday. You still might have 5 and stuff like that. And you just, taking your time, letting the Lord show you what to do with your companies and everything, and make them successful and everything. I am still at 31 companies, y'all. As like I said, it's a lot going on with school, and I might be sitting there for a while, even though the goal is to hit 100 in December. Like I said, got some things cut off, just don't have time cut out, just don't have time to get them sold and everything. That's how busy this school is. we're trying to get this project approved and everything. Definitely trying to get it approved. But push forward, push forward, push forward, push forward. If you have an ideal and you don't know how to get it up and running, or you need some advice, shoot me a message on Facebook. Believe me, I think outside the box. I think outside the box. Definitely think outside the box. Because sometimes people are like, well, this is what everybody else do it. And this is how you gotta get approved. You gotta do it like this. Not necessarily. You got to think outside the box. Pray about it and everything. And you want to be different. Not that you're being difficult. You just be your ideals are different and they're unique. Everything. So if you got an ideal and you want you know some suggestions, run it past me, shoot me a message. You have a phone number, call me. You have an email, shoot me an email and everything. You definitely can do that. We know that I'm on my YouTube channel, Keisha Hill. You can follow me on Instagram, Keisha Oopsie1, Twitter at Hill Keisha, Snapchat, Keisha Oopsie1, Tumblr, Miss Love 35, Pinterest, KEI4803, LinkedIn and Google Plus is Keisha Hills. And the video will go up on LinkedIn, Google Plus, Pinterest, Tumblr, Twitter, and YouTube. And it's already on Facebook. So yeah. So that's 7. 7 channels that's going up. Got some other things I am working with that's in the works. We just praying about it and letting the Lord reveal me how to proceed with some other things. So we're gonna do our last scripture. That's 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. 2 Thessalonians chapter 3, verse 10. For even when we were with you, this we commanded you, that if any would not work, neither should he eat. And I am the advocate of that. We help people. We are there for people, family and friends and stuff like that. But there are times when people try to take advantage of your kindness. So if you are that one that somebody has put up and helping you out because you've been through some bad situations, and if you're not working, do something at the house, cook, clean, do the backyard, organize the pantry and stuff like that. Just don't sit up on them and stuff. Everything that I know you probably going through a lot. You probably had. I'm not talking about young kids or older people or somebody that's had medical issue or even a tragedy in their home or in their family. It takes some time for them to get back to themselves. I'm talking about them, but I'm talking about people that just I don't know what people help me out. They're the ones we talking about. They're the ones we talking about. So and you can take those same things that you're doing for somebody at their house and you trying to cook and you get good at it and everything, or if you clean it and you clean real good, or you doing the yard doing real good. Hey, you can start your own business. Start your own business. Definitely for sure. So with that being said, we're gonna do our salvation prayer, y'all. Now let's bow our heads. Dear Lord Jesus, I want you to come into my life, come into my heart, be my Lord and Savior, and forgive me of my sins. In the name of Jesus, amen. And we do the salvation prayer. Like I said, all the videos go up on different channels. So when somebody watch it, you don't know who's sitting with them or who's listening, that they might, you know, what did he say? He got some things going on in their life. So we're going to introduce, we introducing our books. I have a publishing company. And these are children's books. Now, Curious and Wisdom Little Fish, and Newton Chuz, and a couple tadpoles. And it's the same author, Mr. Charles Toy. He's retired Army. In his first book, it's about little children that ask a lot of questions. They're very inquisitive, and like he said, when they ask questions as parents, answer their questions. Don't brush them off or anything. Really answer their questions, because if you don't start answering their questions, they're just going to ask the wrong person, and they're going to get some wrong answers. So you want to answer their questions. And if the answer is I don't know, I will find out. Then tell them I don't know, I will find out. Because kids will ask a lot of questions. His next book, Luke and Chubbs, The Ever Colorful Tadpoles, those are by his 2 grandchildren, which are biracial. Kids from different races, when parents get together, get married, have kids, the kids do look different. And he said his grandchildren used to have a lot of questions and stuff like that. So he wanted to write about that. It's a really good book. And it answers a lot of questions that kids do have, and as parents, if you don't understand, you read that book in a way, like say we use the tadpoles and frogs, you'll be able to answer the question for only kid level. The next book is My Dog is Green, Shamrock's Colorful Tale. And this is by Mr. Benjamin Hicks. He used to be in the military. And he talks about his dog being green and all things a dog can get into. And then he started talking about if the dog was red, blue, orange, white, black, brown. What would the dog do if it was at different colors of what stuff he would get into. And so that's another thing about teaching kids as they read. As parents, you teach your kids the colors, and they'll know their colors. So that's a good thing. And like I said, it's a really fun book. The next book is My Mommy is the Army by Keisha Sharp. That's not me, and she is the sister of Mr. Benjamin Hicks, and she's retired Army. Me and her were stationed together in Georgia. And she wrote this book when she was deployed about her son, Xavier. How does he feel being back in the States? His mom deployed overseas. And it's really good because as parents that were in the military, if you were deployed, you could take this book and, have not only before you deploy, read it to your child, but have somebody read to your child saying how this child felt, and the child might be feeling the same way. And I'm telling you what's interesting, because when I was on Force Hood last year, or earlier this year, one of the ladies, she said she was still in. Yep, she was coming up on retirement. And when she saw the book, she bought it. Even though her kids were grown, she said, I bought the book because when she read through it, she said, I wonder if they were feeling like that when they were young. And she bought the book, and she was going to let them see it, even though they were grown. So when I say grown, they was probably like 19, 20. Yeah. She wanted to see what they feeling that way. And she said that's how much she really, really liked the book and everything. So, and this is Miss Sharp. And this is her son, Xavier. The one for the first, yeah. He's actually in the military. He's in the Navy now. Yeah. The next book is Amy Adams Autobiography. And this is Mr. Adams. He's retired Navy from Montgomery, Alabama. And it talks about all the things he's been through, the autobiography. Very instrumental during that time in NAACP conference. He met Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks. He traveled to D.C., New York to give speeches and everything. And I always like to show this. This is his mentor. This Rosa Parks was his mentor. Yeah, was his mentor. Growing up, like I say, he said he learned a lot in the Navy. Reached the highest at that time, the highest enlisted rank you could in the Navy. Then he retired, and then got two master's degrees in California. Worked in California, retired in California, and then he moved to Arizona, where he officially retired. But it's a really, really good autobiography and everything. Don't want to sell his autobiography because I had a lot of people that have seen it and come by my house. And really, when they read it, it's really he's fascinating. He lived a fascinating life, very interested in some of the things. Not only did see it and growing up in Montgomery, Alabama. And like I said, there's a lot of things that we put in the book, but a lot of things that he's seen during that time of segregation and racism. Well, we know still have racism, but just during that time, a lot of things he would put in the book. Talked about it, but he said he would put it in the book and everything. So we have to respect that. But my other books you can buy at www.etsy.com/shop/UC Books Published. So you definitely can get those and everything. So with that being said, we are going to finish up with Fresh Friday Bible Study. Next week is we have Bible study on Tuesday. Tuesday Bible night Bible study is from 6 p to 7 p. I already have the topic, but the Lord don't let me about the topic. But that one, Wednesday is Wonderful Wednesday Bible study. It's between 8 p and 10 p.m. at night. It's for like 5 to 15 minutes. And then we fall around again on Thursday morning treat. And that is going to be your assignment, part 13. And then Fresh Friday next week, we'll be starting on part 14, and actually a new book. I don't want to reveal. It's actually 2 books. So we'll be working with 2 books. I don't want to reveal those yet. And they're really good, really good. Because y'all know Fridays almost is like our business entrepreneur Friday Bible study, but yet we still using our scriptures for the Lord to guide us as we are starting a business. I'm sorry, they hit. I don't know what happened with the computer. Yeah, the computer's been acting up a couple times today. Anyway, we're going to close out in prayer, and I thank everyone for coming and saying hello. Family and friends will say hello, and then we're going to close out in prayer, y'all. Okay, because you know what? I got to go to work. I'm a scrub, so I got to go to work. so we're going to close out in prayer, and I will be sending out the Fresh Friday Bible study lunch. For whatever have you'll get a picture later on. So let's bow our heads. Lord, we want to thank you for the word that came across. We want to thank you for us giving us the ideals, the creative ideals for our businesses and everything, Lord. We thank you that when you do give us ideals, we let you lead us in developing those ideals and everything, Lord. And Lord, again, we want to pray for everyone in the whole wide world, for their spirit, soul, mind, and body. If they don't know you, send somebody across their path and tell them about you, Lord. If they do know you, Lord, give them a hunger and thirst and know you more and more so to be witnesses unto everybody. Lord, as we finish going through our day and our night, Lord, that you be right there guiding our paths, ordering our steps, Lord, and that you're protecting us from the front, the back, and the left and the side, and you're encircling us with your love, Lord. In the name of Jesus, amen.